Going to bring the Z up here right now, and you guys will be able to listen to him explain some things to you about it.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you something.
Yes.
You say it's a different style, but I look at the car that you did for Fast and Loud, and I look at this car. I got the SJ mirrors. You did a little bit of a wider over fender to yours, but man, I feel like there's a lot in common between what you did and what Dominic did.
Certain principles, staying true to the body lines, not doing a wide body, cutting the body, certain things like that were definitely similar. But this is more over the top with titanium and things like that. To me, it's different. It's different.
It is very much so. It does have definitely a new versus old look. There's
it does,
new
yes.
Combined with the old. But man, I love that Z that you did. And yours was a 280, correct?
Yeah, it was a 75 280 2 plus 2. This is
a 240.
This is a 240, and this is the coupe. The coupe is the more coveted of the cars. The 2 plus 2 is a little bit less, of a popular chassis. This is the coupe that people love the most. But yeah, there are some similarities while also being extremely different. So we're gonna have Dominic come up here. This is a Meguiar's polished car. After this, the car is sitting there in the Meguiar's booth. Shout out to Meguiar's, the official car care cleaning products of AutoCon LA.
I want to do more than shout out to Meguiar's. Can the first person who shows me they're following Meguiar's on IG?
Come up to the stage right now and you'll get this plate frame.
License plate frame. Come on, let the good times roll.
First person following Meguiar's on their phone.
First person following Meguiar's on Instagram.
You can also just not let us know and start following them right now without us seeing that.
No, you're
it's
just
okay.
waving. You're just waving at Dominic. I know he's a rock star. No, first person shows me they're following. Whoa, look at my man.
See,
here,
we
running up
appreciate
right
the
there.
enthusiasm
He's
from this
showing me
guy.
right there. All right,
There it is. You
go,
get the
sir.
plate frame. Thank you
Congratulations.
for being a trooper. John, please don't fall.
I'm
Please
going to
don't
break
do
a
that.
hip. I'm
Okay,
going to break a hip before tonight's
You're
over.
kind of osteoporotic.
You know what? I'm going to bow out of this one because I don't know jack about Datsun's.
But you appreciate a
Is this
good
an
build.
R32 or an S30? I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm going to give Dominic the mic and let you two get down and jam here. But I love his Chasing Jays stuff. Oh, that's sexy, right?
Yeah, we'll
there.
talk about Chasing Jays.
My
We'll talk
boy,
about that.
We're going to talk about that. Talk about these bumpers. Talk about everything. I'm going to give the mic to Dominic and let him go wild. Yeah, come on. Hey, by the way, didn't these cars come with 6-cylinder engines?
They came with inline sixes.
So
yes,
what's
they did.
wrong with this picture then?
In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Nothing wrong with it.
Thank you. Oh wow!
But that's
look at the hood.
that's not because I'm
Is that
biased.
a titanium hood prop rod? Is that look at this?
It's a titanium prop rod. So that's a good segue. Chasing Jays is a company that Dominic has that specializes in parts for certain older chassis, chasing Japanese classics, and they make a series of titanium parts. It doesn't have to be titanium, but it's titanium. You have the burn, you have raw. There's different parts on this car that showcase the capabilities of this particular company. So if you guys have any questions, raise your hand, but right now we're gonna let Dom kind of give everyone a walkthrough of why what I just said, how there's nothing wrong with what's under the hood, because it doesn't have to be a 6 or an L. And especially if you make 350, 400 horsepower, no one's gonna say you did it wrong. So Dom, why don't you give us a little breakdown of what everyone can see here?
Hey guys, my name is Dominic Lee, and we built this 1971 Datsun 240Z to display at this year's SEMA, which is last year's SEMA. We completed the car in a little bit over 4 months. It was a ground up built from the ground up. The car has an SR20 fully built, makes 430 to the wheel. The car weighs about 1,980 pounds. So just to put the number in perspective, I see RJ in the middle. Hi, RJ. RJ DeVera, everybody. To put the number in perspective, to weight to power ratio, it can keep up with a nice GTR in the crowd that makes about 800 horsepower. So the car is very light. It does hook with the great Toyo tires, R8Rs. I usually paint cars or build cars in black and white. It's always been my tradition, but this year we went with a little bit of a custom PPG red.
Did you give it a name? Did you name the color?
I didn't name the color, but I usually, when I build cars, I keep people and family in mind. So this color is particularly fond of me because it's my wife's lipstick color.
Okay.
It's her favorite lipstick. So in order to get her into the car, I might as well paint a car that
I
she
respect
favor.
that. What do you guys think? The color of this with the bronze wheels, it's a good look, right? Let's give it a round of applause for the car. It's a great look. And then if you guys have a chance later on, you can see it in the Meguiar's booth. You can see the titanium. The colors all line up. Raw titanium has like a brown kind of feel to it. Matches the bronze of the wheels. And the red makes it pop. You guys can see the pie cuts of the titanium that they did in the engine bay. A lot of detail, a lot of restoration, but also a lot of resto mod done to the car. I appreciate the body lines. The 70Z is pretty much one of the most timeless bodies of all time. And he kept true to that with this. So tell us about the subtle aero that you did, the bumpers, the flares, etc.
Let me come around. So, the car, a lot of people will be fond to a wide body car. You know, if you looked around, the current trend is wide body. You know, as long as you can get as wide as you can. But a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these wide body inspiration came from the original Z flare, which are these. These are the original ZG from Japan that was a dealer option. Very subtle to the car, but it kept the original body line of the car. Now, if you look at the car from the profile point of view, you will see 1, 2, very strong body line. Now, those body lines on a stock car is actually a little bit more tame. We actually magnify these lines during body work, so we sharpen them up a little bit more, so you see a little bit more pop, which gives the car a little bit more wideness to it, rather than if you just look at the car flat, the car will look a little bit small. It is a Datsun, so it's actually smaller than most street car you see available in the market. Something we did a little bit different than the traditional carbon fiber this year as well too is that later on when you see the car in person, I wanted to build a car where you can't just appreciate the car from a distance. You want to come up, and every single corner you look around the car, there will be a different element that ties the car together as a one whole picture. So the bumpers, front bumpers, front splitter, and rear bumper are all treated in this special carbon car red reflection. Now the carbon has red Kevlar weave into the carbon itself, and you know the bumpers originally weighs about probably 50, 60 pounds a piece. These bumper weighs about 3 pounds a piece. So weight to power ratio was very important building this build.
And what a lot of people don't know is when you run the SR, a lot of the purists say that because it was a 6-cylinder, you need to keep it 6. This is 4, but the SR sits at the front shock tower back, and it keeps an almost perfect 48-52 weight balance. That's how Datsun designed this car. It's literally almost perfect 50-50, and a SR20 maintains that balance. So that's one of the beautiful features of this car. So a lot of people who build these Zs, Dom, they use the satin or like matte black original ZG style finish from the 70s. What made you use a color match instead of black?
You know, I always fond of the matte black flares and the way it looks, and it gives the body that extra wideness look to it as well. But when we were building this car, since we already magnified the body line,
Yes.
I figured if I tame the body down a little bit with matching flares, there was always something kind of elegant about matching flares.
Yeah.
I didn't want, you know, most of the time when people build cars, if you are a show car or a race car guy, you kind of, you pick one of the two. And if a show car guy goes to a race car guy, he will try to say that, oh, I race my car too on the weekend, right? But this car, the purpose of it is just to build so that you can see what we can do as a builder, as a car designer, like Mike and I both do. It wasn't a car that to go, hey, look, I can go faster than you, or I can do this better than you. I wanted for you to look at it and just go, yo, that's cool that he did something different or he built something fun. And at the end of the day, you know, we did a lot of stuff that you won't be able to tell until you get up close. You know, all the badges were 3D printed with our company logo on it. The whole interior was gutted out. We made every single piece in dry carbon fiber. So
You know, let's talk about that. So you gave them a little bit of a touch about the custom bumpers, but that also is something you guys can't really see from down there. And you can come up at the end here and look, especially when the car is at the Meguiar's booth. But they made carbon pieces, including a full dashboard that's made out of carbon that they made themselves. And it is an option for you to purchase if you have a Z and you want to go kind of this type of route. It is an item available to you to purchase, as well as a variety of other parts, such as the bumpers and splitter.
And going to most of the shocking thing that if you look at the car, we went with bronze and gold wheels. You know, you can't. Bronze and red is really kind of a popping color. This is a custom works, equipped 40s, and a lot of people have been asking me offsets and with the front is 10 wide, the rear is 11 wide. I believe the front is negative 15 offset, the rear is negative 25, no spacer. I don't really do a lot of spacer because the car does built for speed if I ever want to step, on the pedal as well. So the whole entire drivetrain is all billet design. We're running a Subaru STI differential on it, and with an OS Geiskin 3.9 limited, super limited slip, Porsche 930 CV Kamali axles. It can handle 1,000 if it needs to, but the car only produced 430 to the wheels. Inside, the one thing about car building that I am never very proficient with, it's the wiring stuff. So later on, if you guys want to pick my brain when the car's back at Meguiar's booth, the whole wire harness is done by Wire, my good friend Ryan. It's all military spec. We took probably a gajillion wire and turned it into about 10. Now the whole entire chassis and everything is run on mil-spec, quick disconnect. So if something happened to the motor, there's a mil-spec harness inside the engine bay that you can pretty much screw one knob, pull the whole motor out, and all the wiring for the wire harness will come out at the same time. So when I built a car, that's the purpose of it. If it breaks, you gotta be able to repair and fix it. So everything on the car is very easy and simply accessible. The front has you can sit in it if you need to.
Yeah, Dominic, I'm not seeing any wiring here, so what's going on with that? Like, I love Ryan Basseri's work. Like, there's no wiring. It doesn't look like this car should even start. There's like a tuck and shave thing going on, but yet, I know, no offense to all the other wiring guys out there, but there's like a whole tuck and shave that's like tucked, but not quite mil-spec'd, and it's just kind of horribly tucked. Ryan does stuff that's like motorsport-esque, but yet still show car presentation, correct?
Yeah, when Ryan does wiring, there's two elements that I learned from Ryan is that good is not enough.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why his harness, custom harness is like 10 to 20K.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
10 to 20,000 bucks for a custom
I love
harness,
Ryan.
So there are versions of Rywire.com's harnesses. There are versions that is a 100% bespoke, made specifically for your power plant and electronics and sensor setup that would cost like something like that because Ryan himself is spending a good 100 hours doing the car. But there are $400 to $700 options that provide OEM replacements. It goes from $400 to $40,000. It's all a matter of what you're trying to do.
I'm sorry, Mike, did you say he could do a 10 to 20K harness and he also does a $400 to $700 version?
And it works
That's correct.
just as good. The only difference between the 400 and the 10,000 harness is just some car, and it comes down to the e-management system too. Of course, a Motec system, you're not gonna plug a Motec e-management system into a $400 harness, right? So there are budgets and everything when Ryan builds and harness for you. And then if you look at it, yes, our main goal with this engine is that when you look in it, you want to see engine, and you want to see piping. And we did an extensive amount of work with titanium on it. And titanium, recently with the whole entire global trading, it's pricing up to be near gold. So such an expensive element in metal, and that's why we really wanted to show it off. And a lot of the stuff on this car is not an off-the-shelf type of product. So everything is fabricated. Everything is made. You know, I cannot take credit for my good friend who did a lot of the welding for me. You know, I did a lot of the pipe design, how it fits and how it functions. But I can't weld titanium, and I had to give it out to my good buddy Chris from, you know, Wisecraft Fabrication for, you know, spending the time and helping me weld the product. Cause
Oh, Chris.
you're only as good as your people. So, you know, like what's the saying go? Your net worth is your network, right? So
Yeah, it's an example of how with the right team, you get the right group together, a lot of passionate,
Hey, I gotta give him-
self-taught guys
Hey,
that
Mike?
that care about the details. You can make something amazing.
Mike, I got to give him bonus points for the pie cuts. That's like super JDM right there. The pie cut, all the pie cuts going on right here in the engine bay. I mean, this car is so well done. If you guys have a chance, Dominic, you're in the Meguiar's booth, correct?
Right.
So, very cool. Can I set my drink on this?
No, you
would it
cannot.
just-
Don't
I
do that.
cannot. Should I not do
I
that?
mean, they'll
Mike?
be able to buff it out, but
They-
that's not what we need to do. You could put it on the
I
engine.
Don't, I kind of do, but I kind of don't because I think RJ would beat me up if I did something like that.
Well, you
But-
know what? Look, Dom, you guys, everyone, Dom's right here. He's going to be down here for you guys to talk to. Please don't be shy. Walk up to him. Ask him whatever you want about the car. Take photos. Hashtag AutoCon. Let us know. He will answer anything that you have. You have about 15 minutes left, and then we'll bring on the next car. So, Dominic, everyone from Chasing Jays, this is his build. He'll be down here in just a second, and you guys can talk to him in person. Everyone give it up for Dominic. Round of applause. And this build, this car debuted at SEMA last year. It's going to be debuting and exhibiting throughout the year. It's his personal car.
I just want to say thanks to Justin. Yeah, this is an amazing event. Every year, I kind of get the whole entire gear community into one household. You know, it doesn't matter what car you drive, what makes, models, what race you are. It's kind of nice to see everybody in the same mindset, enjoying what we love to do every day. And, you know, I want to give one last thing, too, is that, you know, for Chasing Jays, for us to stay in business, you know, the whole community always support us, and we really appreciate that. We produce everything in titanium, and we don't make stuff just for the classic cars. We make stuff for the Honda guys, the Lamborghini, the guys who, you know, in his backyard. But we want to bring precious metal to just the car community. We don't want you to pay $100, $200 for a piece of aluminum. That's why we make everything in titanium. And we are the only car company that can color the high grade of green and blue and pink, just like ARC. So,
Yo, Dominic, what's the IG tag there for Chasing Jays?
oh, it's just Chasing Jays. CHASING. JS stands for Japanese, just Japanese cars, you know.
I have yellow fever. Is that the same thing as Chasing Jays?
Same thing. That's
Okay,
When
I
you
got
go to
you.
the hospital, you
Okay, I just wanted to check. Anyone, show me your following Chasing Jays. We got a Hoonigan cap for you. Oh, Sean Lee for Purist. Oh, hello, scientist. Hey, show me someone following Chasing Jays on IG. Hoonigan cap for the first person to show me
I'll give you
Chasing
a-
Jays on Hoonigan on IG.
Yeah, and I'll give you a Chasing Jays titanium keychain right now too as well.
What? Oh, wait, my
Whoa.
boy RK Ty. He's rolling up right there. He's rolling up. You got Chasing Jays? You following Chasing Jays? Anybody following Chasing Jays gets a Hoonigan cap. First person. Here, for the Hoonigan shirt. I got two.
Okay, I'll give both of you guys a keychain. Just see me at the Meguiar booth later, and I'll give you guys a titanium keychains too as well.
Dominic Lee, can you hang out for a few and answer some questions? Yeah, Dominic's going to hang
He'll
out
be
for
right
a few.
here, you guys.
Answer
He'll be
some
right here to
questions.
talk to you
We're going
guys.
to have another car up at 2:30, I believe. Yep. Wow, that is just
All right,
craziness
Dom, thank
right
you,
now.
man. Just go down here. Everyone, he'll be right here for you guys to talk to, and the car will be up here for you to take photos of for 10 more minutes.
Ask Dom some questions. Ask him about the Meguiars, too. I want to know how he gets that car so shiny. I know you've done, he always says white and black cars, and now this thing's the wife's lip. Happy wife, happy life, huh, Dom? You know it.
The
You know
color of
it.
her lipstick. The color.